Good afternoon. I want to kind of jump on here, do a quick update, and kind of touch base about a story I just put in the group about Measure 114, that latest update. And it looks like there's some confusion. I want to kind of set the record straight, let you kind of know, what this looks like for us as gun owners and kind of where we're at. And, well, stuff that we need to focus on. And so if you guys can see this, please let me know. And appreciate you guys tuning in. Happy Wednesday. Hope everything's going well for you guys. And so I put something in the group. It's something that came across my Google alert, believe it or not. It's working the way it's supposed to. And so I got a Google alert. It came out, I think 17 hours, so yesterday. And so it's in regards to Measure 114. So hey, Greg. And so what I want to touch base about is what the state is trying to do. And what the state is trying to do is they are trying to clean up the record. And so what they're doing is, with the judge's ruling that came out on the 21st, now they see, where they failed. And so what they need to do is, before the record closed, it was supposed to close on December 8th of this year, and that's where the official record was going to be complete. That way it would go to the appellate court for the next. And in this situation, what they're it's basically a stall tactic. Basically they're saying that the FBI is now going to perform these background checks, which the FBI wasn't going to at the trial, at the time of the trial. And so what they're doing is they're just trying to score points. And this is literally the bottom of the ninth here. This thing was going to be certified in just a couple of days. And so it's desperation mode. And so, as frustrating as it is for all of us, we have to realize that, this is just another chapter in the saga of Measure 114. And so, I just want to make sure that I put people's minds at ease and just understand that, this is a procedural thing for the state of Oregon, the defendants there. And that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to clean up the record. They realize their missteps in this trial. I've been reading documents, and I've been trying to kind of decipher everything. There was like 130 pages that I'm going through. And so I'm just trying to see, what's valid, what's not valid. The stuff that I'm seeing directly came from the state and their objections to the judge's ruling. And so it's just a lot of legal maneuvering, and a lot of it's not fun to read. It's all lawyer talk and lawyer speak. And so, I just you got to stay positive and just realize that this is just part of the process. They have not done anything from what I've seen to improve their position. They're trying to sell this thing as, something that's good for the state of Oregon, but as we all know, this is not good for the state of Oregon. They haven't proved that, and the judge's ruling, is pretty clear on his interpretation of the Oregon Constitution, the way historical evidence was presented in the courtroom. So there's a lot of stuff that's all encompassing in this ruling that he wrote on. There was an addendum to it, which was better, which I really enjoyed. And so, which helped kind of solidified our position, right? So we have a really good, safe position to fight from. This is the record. And so, what the state of Oregon's trying to do is they're trying to make little modifications. Like, we didn't say that. That's not what we meant. And so, that's what's happening there with this last minute, maneuvering on their part. And so, I just wanted to kind of get you guys on here and kind of talk about it. And, you know, I know it's easy to feel like the sky is falling, but the sky is not falling here. It's just part of this game that we're playing. We have to understand we're on the side of the righteous. The Oregon Constitution, our Second Amendment rights, they are protected. The judge gave us a great ruling that's very strong and solid. And so we know that it's an uphill fight for them. They're fighting from a losing position. And so that's where we have to stay focused, stay positive, just understand that that's just kind of how this thing's going to go. And, I guess the most exciting thing for us would be, once the official record is closed, that's when now we can go on to the next checkpoint, which probably would be the appellate court. And then, if it passes the appellate court, then it would go to the Oregon State Supreme Court. So there's a couple different places this will end up, So they have another hearing. It's going to be scheduled for January 2nd. And that's going to be in Harney County. I think it's going to be a teleconference. That's from what I'm hearing. And so we'll be able to watch it along. It's scheduled, I believe, from 9:30 to 12:30. Don't quote me on that, but I'll have everything so we could watch it along, and support our attorney, Tony Aiello. And it's really, really important. He's under a lot of pressure right now. So if you could, he's going up against the state, that's that big machine. And so if we can say some prayers for him, that'd be great. And, so that's kind of where I'm at. I want to get this information out to you guys so you guys can kind of get on with your day, and just know that, no, this hasn't changed. Measure 114. We still have a win there. And, I'll talk about Give me 1 second, Greg. Let me finish my thought, and just know this is going to go on for many, many years. And, this is going to change over time. The sad part is how much money is being spent on this that's not actually doing anything to save any lives. It's a hindrance to you. It's an annoyance to you. That's all it is. And so, but it's, if we can hold the line, like we're hoping that we can, we're going to be in a better position. And so that's where, we just got to stay positive, and so I'm going to start. Yeah, I'll give me 1 second. I'll get to you with the comments here. So I'm going to highlight my comments here. We're talking about the Oregon State Supreme Court. So the Oregon State Supreme Court, I don't have a tremendous amount of faith in, just because of the way it's been stacked by, Kotek and Governor Brown. It's definitely not a friendly court, but it still has to make it to that point. And so, that has to get through the appellate court first, and then it would go to the Oregon State Supreme Court. So, I felt, obviously I'm not an attorney. I play one here on Facebook for you guys. So there's a lot of stuff that the way I see things might not necessarily be the way they truly are. This is my way of interpreting things as I've learned this process. And so I feel that, from my perspective as somebody that reads a lot about the 2A issues, is I felt that the ruling was a very sound ruling. It was very reasonable. I felt like he understand the bearing of the weight of his ruling, and ultimately I feel like it was a good protection of us and our civil liberties. And so, for that, I do feel really, really good. And so, going to the appellate court, we need that record to close, which the state of Oregon just opened the record once again, because they have these objections, which I submitted in the group. There was like 7 different objections. And so that's where it's going to, we just need it to close. We need it to just do what it's going to do. And there's nothing that, from what I've seen today with all the documents I've been reading, is there was nothing that would support the state bettering their position. Okay. A lot of it is just vernacular. It's highlighting of court transcripts. It's, we didn't mean it like that. This is what we meant. You know what I mean? You took it out of context. It's a lot of this stuff, and it's all maneuvering. It's all, they're trying to better their position. I feel that it's, I feel good about our side, our counsel. Tony's going to do a great job there, and he's going to rebut their objection, and hopefully this thing is going to be closed. It can be officially accepted as the record, and now we can plan for the next checkpoint. And that was kind of my hope for all of this. And so, that's kind of the thing I want to focus on is I know it's easy to see stuff coming out of the media. You have to understand the media is not our friends. That the story that I submitted into the group, that was not a pro gun owner story. That was, these are the reasons why the state doesn't like the ruling that came out of Harney County. So we're going to argue about these. They talked about immigrants, right? And we're like, I don't know about you, like there were settlers, there were settlers that came to Oregon in the 1800s, and the way they're changing vernacular and terminology, it's just the whole thing just stinks. And so, we gotta we got to understand that, that we're on the right side of the history here. And, this is just another, it's just, you just think of all the hundreds of dollars of bills that are just being lit on fire right now. The only people that are, that are winning here are attorneys. And it's truly sad because it's not going to do anything to make our state safer. It's just going to take away the resources that, are needed to do other things, and so the fact of the matter is we have an attorney general that's so drunk on, partisanship that she will not let this thing go in it's you look at this, the scales of justice. Scales of justice have always been, it was, it was a later Lady Liberty, she's blindfolded, she has two scales, the scales are supposed to be equal, they're supposed to be balanced because justice is supposed to be blind. When we have an attorney general that is so power hungry and so drunk on partisanship because of all the special interest money that goes to her campaign, you know, justice is no longer blind. And so that's where this is a further violation of our Second Amendment rights, is the fact that, we presented the case, we won the case, shut up about it. And obviously they have the right to appeal. I get it. I understand. And I'm not trying to take away that right that they have, but this thing was based on something that was unconstitutional from the beginning. And the fact that they have sold it this far, where it's gone to the ballot, it was passed, TRO went to a place, and now we went through two trials, and now that TRO is a permanent injunction, right? That tells us, as the people that are not legal scholars, that are just the average gun owner, that this was a bad bill and it was flawed from the very beginning. And so it doesn't matter how much you paint this, put lipstick on this pig, it's still going to be a pig. And so, we just gotta be patient and understand that. And, that's kind of where I'm at. I saw there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of people that are upset. I totally get it. I totally support that. And I'm upset as well. But we have to understand is this is not the end. This thing's going to continue to go forward. And so that's kind of where we're at, and so, yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's not something you guys want to do on a Wednesday. I know that you guys have better things to do than listen to me yap, but I want to just make sure that I gave you guys the information that is going to help kind of put you guys at ease, so. And so came in late. So there was a story I put into the group, talked about how the state is objecting to the judge's ruling out of Harney County. And so there was 7 points that they mentioned, talked about one I found that was very funny is about how they said that the magazine is not an integral part of the firearm, which one of their expert witness that billed the state of Oregon for $40,000, Brian DeLay, he admitted under oath that the magazine was an integral part of the firearm and in a historical, application, so it's, they didn't highlight that. I noticed of all the court documents, they didn't highlight that part. They highlighted other parts that would support their position, but they forgot that one. And so, but I'll never forget it because I saw it, and it's something that it really proved the fact that this guy is as a bad expert witness, and he cost the state of Oregon a lot of money. But that will all come out in the wash. I promise you that. So that's kind of where I'm at. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm probably going to wrap this up. I got stuff I got to do. But I wanted to just make sure you guys knew kind of where we're at and understand that this is just another part of this game. It's just the attorneys trying to do what they do and score points. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be enough to score points where it's going to overrule, the judge's ruling. I feel pretty solid about what he said. He understood the levity of the words that were coming out of his decision, and so I feel that was a good thing for all of us. And so we just got to stay up to date, stay focused, and stay positive. I know it's easy to get kind of down in the dumps. It's raining, there's flooding, there's all sorts of different things, and so I know it's easy to kind of check out, and you see something like this where we've literally spent over a year in this emotional roller coaster with Measure 114, and then when you see something in the news saying, "Oh, it's not," and we got this victory, we're all celebrating this victory, right? And then you see this news story saying that, "Oh, it's but wait, there's more." So I totally get it. I totally get it, and it's so frustrating, but it's you're wasting time. You're wasting money. That's all you're doing, and so that's kind of where I'm at. So thanks for tuning in. Other than that, I hope everybody's doing well. Keep up. Keep up the fight. Stay in the fight. It's not going to end. They're going to come up with something new. The short session, that's going to be a challenge. So we got to make sure that we're fighting there, and because they can't accept a loss here. We have to look at this from a big picture standpoint. Is this was the first case that was tried under the Bruen decision, okay, on a federal level. Okay, we got a bad ruling out of federal court because she didn't understand the Bruen decision, and most likely she will pay for that. She will have to either that thing will get thrown out, or she will have to review her ruling, because she totally missed the bed there. And so, but there's a lot of other states that are watching here, Oregon, and understand that there's other states that are going to try to do the same thing. Washington, they have a new permit issue thing where starting January 1st, you have to have a permit to purchase, I guess. I haven't spent a lot of time kind of diving into it, but that's when I saw yesterday from my friends at Sporting System. So there's like, they want this to hold here in Oregon, so they're going to try it in other places. And so that's that's the kind of everybody's watching us. And I feel that we held our own in Harney County. And so, so I appreciate you, my yap. Yeah, I like to yap. It's fun. And so, but I love my freedoms, and I'm going to protect my freedoms, because if I don't protect my freedoms, I'm not going to be able to pass my freedoms on to the next generation. And so that's why this fight that we have today is so important, is because if we don't hold this line, there's gonna be nothing left. And so our way of life is really on the line here. Our culture, we have a gun culture here in Oregon and across the country. There's over 500 million guns in this country. Okay. 110 million law abiding citizens that own firearms. Okay. We're not the problem. And so we should not be punished and turned into criminals because of somebody doesn't know how to write a bill. And that's what it is. I mean, those people, it never should have been on the ballot. Shemaiah Fagan, you're responsible for all of this. So you allowed it. And so she's probably somewhere making lots of money in retirement, and there's no accountability there. So no accountability from the attorney general, so Ellen Rosenbaum. So, she gets to, basically leave office at the end of next year and waste all of this money. And there's nothing that we can do to hold her accountable for throwing money away. So, and plus violating her duties. The justice system is supposed to be blind. It's supposed to be equal application under the law, and this is far from equal. So, that's kind of my thing. So, other than that, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna get back to work. I just want to check in with you guys, say hi, and just kind of put your minds at ease. This is just part of this process. I do have about 130 pages that I'm going through. I want to get permission. Once I have permission, if it's relevant, I will put it out for you guys to kind of see what I see. Until then, I'm not going to make anything public. I just kind of tell you what I've read, and it's just part of the deal. Lots of reading and lots of trying to figure out, what planet these people are from. From what you saw from the news story is they just don't get it. They just don't understand. And I feel that they're arrogant enough to never understand, because they don't want to take the time to learn. and that's dangerous. That's dangerous for all of us because they're going to continue to write bad law, and they're going to continue to use their resources. It's basically going to be a war of attrition, and they're going to wear us down. They're going to wear our side down and take up all of our and tie us up in court. And so that's really the dangerous thing. It's war of attrition. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts is what it truly is. So other than that, I'm going to get off here. My blood pressure's up. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.